Video disclaimer. This video is strictly educational and informative in nature. Please enjoy the video. A long time ago in 1995, September 9th, Sony Entertainment released the PlayStation 1 and it changed the gaming world forever. That is a crazy statement to say considering the 1990s was filled with a bunch of consoles and handhelds. Hey, all my old heads watching this video can testify. Sony at the time was up against Sega in their prime with the Sega Dreamcast and Nintendo running strong with their best console at the time, the Nintendo 64. In the year 2000, on October 26, Sony launched what most people would consider the best console of all time, the PlayStation 2, with its only big competitor being the Xbox. On November 17th in 2006, Sony released the PS3. This console was outclassed by the Xbox 360 and the Nintendo Wii, which were genuinely the better consoles at the time. When the PS3 first came out, it really wasn't received well at all, but in retrospect, the PS3 was the console that hosted some of PlayStation's best exclusives. It had games like The Last of Us, Little Big Planet, God of War 3. In 2013, on November 15, Sony released, in my opinion, their best console, the PS4. Which in no doubt was the best console of that era. PlayStation has always had their ups and downs and their iffy decision making, but never to the degree of this modern era. I wanted to make today's video to review PlayStation's terrible decision making over the past year, and why you, the consumer, need to stop accepting these changes, otherwise gaming is just gonna get worse. Before we hop into this video, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what you think the best PlayStation console is.
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
We at PlayStation are sad to announce that we will stop making physical discs for games starting in 2028, and we will only have games on digital moving forward.
Oh my gosh, what? Why?
We're making this decision based on consumer patterns. The vast majority of consumers buy digitally, so to save money, we are removing all disc manufacturing from our operations.
I can't believe this. This is the end of an era, but how will players be able to share games with their friends?
They won't. We are eliminating all ability to share games across different consoles.
What? This is insane! What happened to play has no limits? What happened to you guys roasting Xbox 13 years ago, showing someone sharing a game on PlayStation?
Times have changed, and we have to do what's best for our company.
Oh, like taking 500 movies off of the PlayStation Store that people paid for. You still didn't refund them, and now you're making all games digital. This is so wrong. After this move, I'm genuinely scared for the future of gaming.
So let's start with the elephant in the room and what everyone is going crazy about. I've noticed a lot of the younger generation is ignorant and truly doesn't understand the nuance of this situation. Sony wants you to believe that they're doing this because it's easier to manufacture and distribute games, when in reality it's to have all control over the consumer. Now yes, two things can be true at once, but was creating physical copies really that big of a problem? For the people who cannot understand why people are upset about this and why you should be upset about this as well, you will not own any of your games anymore. Every digital game that you buy is bought with the license to access the game under the platform's terms. At any given moment, the license could change or the content could be removed. This quite literally just happened with over 500 movies on PlayStation, and Sony didn't give a single soul a refund. If you were to wake up tomorrow and all your games and DLC was gone, you would lose your mind. You would hate Sony forever. Now, is it likely that that's gonna happen? No. But is it a possibility? Yes. And I will admit, there are some people out here creating disingenuous outrage for clicks and views, but still buying digital games behind the scene. But to be honest, outrage is what we need. Just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean it's not affecting someone else. I have seen a lot of gamers, specifically the older gamers, say that the PS5 is their last console and gaming stops here for them. That is a problem. Imagine playing PlayStation from the PlayStation 1 and being forced to stop because of Sony's greedy decision making. And I know some people might rebuttal, oh, just switch to Xbox. Bro, someone's preference isn't up for debate. No more buying used games, no more getting your money back after you beat a game, no more collecting physical media for the people that actually like collecting it. Gaming preservation becomes harder, and again, you the consumer lose leverage. Oh, and it makes gaming overall less affordable. And for the Sony corporate defenders that think Sony actually cares about the people, 9 hours ago at the time of scripting this video, Sony posted a tweet about the lever gates on the Flex strike, and they have over 58,000 comments rebelling against them. They have yet yet to make a statement addressing the situation because they don't care. So if you think it's not a big deal, I'm gonna need you to look around.
PlayStation, you greedy bastards. PlayStation has been sending out tests of dynamic pricing all around the PSN store, which basically games will be shown at a different price depending on how much money you spend with them. So if you're new to PlayStation, the games are cheaper, but if you spend more money with PlayStation, the games cost more. There's examples out here with guys going to the PlayStation store as a new user and the game being cheaper. You greedy bastards. This should be illegal. For the player, my ass, man. How did we get to this point? Oh, I know why. It's because they don't got no competition and they can do whatever they want. And this is why I glaze Steam so much. When you're checking out a game with them, they tell you that there's a cheaper version of the game. But PlayStation over here just wants your money, man. That doesn't even make sense when you say it out loud. It should be the other way around. If I spend more money with you, I should be getting those deals compared to a new user. You're gonna tax the guy that's giving you more money than the guy that hasn't gave you any money at all? What?
Now, I wanted to go over the dynamic pricing situation again because I think this was another time that the fans should have just rebelled against Sony. Dynamic pricing is a strategy where the price of a product or service changes over time based on factors like demand, timing, competition, or customer behavior instead of staying at one fixed price. And you're probably like, Ron, that doesn't sound bad at all. And yes, on the surface, it doesn't really seem that bad, but it can and will lead to bigger issues. Here is a tweet regarding dynamic pricing or A/B pricing or price discrimination, whatever you want to call it. The game Astrobot is $60 for both accounts, but discounted differently for both accounts as well. Two friends buying the exact same game on the exact same day, but one has a $12.60 difference. If Sony is using purchase history or a willingness to spend as a part of pricing, that means someone like myself would end up paying more for games than someone who rarely buys games. Why are the loyal customers subsidizing discounts for others? Sony has had zero transparency about this, which creates trust issues for the customers. Literally nobody knows why they're paying more than others. Is it because I buy my games day one? Is it because I have a PS5 Pro? Nobody freaking knows, but it's Sony's obligation to tell us why. Again, this is just another one of Sony's bad changes that we let slide because it really wasn't that bad. Bruh, you played a game way too much not to be making money in between matches. Don't worry, I got you. All you need is a phone and it's 100% legit. Tester Up is an app that works with games to help them find people like you. These apps and games are willing to pay new users money because a lot of them actually end up liking the game, and in return that makes them money too. Tester Up helps put a little bit of that money back in your pocket because they're gonna give you a little bit of what they make. You already got all of those games on your phone, you might as well sign up and try it out. You can make a completely free account with just the email and the password, and they not finna ask for all that extra information. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you're not finna get rich off this, but you can make yourself a little cool $10, $20, maybe even more if you dedicate it. Again, it's completely free. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in my description and yeah, go get yourself some shmoney. If you're a Sony fan, I think we can all agree that the PlayStation 5 is the worst PlayStation. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about the hardware before I get any of those comments. I'm talking about how dry and empty this shit feel. Like, what has it done for the PlayStation community? This soulless ass console don't got no aura or generational impact. The only accomplishment the PS5 has given us is loading up disappointment faster. People be hating on gamers that stay on their PS4, bro. I don't even blame them. The PS5 is minimalism final boss. I remember when the PS3 dropped, everybody was hating on it. Bro, I'd go back to the PS3 over the PS5 any day of the week. PS5 is like if your refrigerator gained consciousness. Sony over here talking about the next PS6. Nigga, for what? So to wrap this video up, I just wanted to go over some micro problems that Sony have been giving us for the past year. First, let's start with the whole age verification required in different countries to use online communication features. You're probably sitting behind the screen like, Ron, shut up, this is to protect the kids. Yes, this does protect the kids, and I'm all here for it. The fact of the matter is, some people have privacy concerns. Many people don't want to give Sony their government-issued ID, a selfie, or more personal information. Not that long ago, Crunchyroll, a Sony-owned company, had a data breach of over 6.8 million accounts. All of those people had their personal information leaked. Credit cards, debit cards, addresses, and things of that nature. So you could see why some people don't want to trust Sony with that type of personal information. And honestly, that's just one of the many reasons. I feel a lot of content creators didn't want to speak about this because they didn't want to come off as insensitive or against protecting the kids. You can be for the children and still point out Sony's hazardous decision making, especially when there's evidence to support it. This whole thing creates a barrier stopping people from using the basic essentials of their console. I posted a TikTok about this fans when the news first dropped, and in the comment section, you can read many teenagers and adults complaining about their experience. The last thing I want to speak about is the price of the PlayStation 5. A digital PS5 is $600. A PS5 with a disc drive is $650. A PS5 Pro is $900. A harsh and sad but true reality for someone who wants to get a new PS5 and GTA 6 is the fact that at the most, they will have to pay nearly $1,000, if not $1,000 if they want the Ultimate Edition. I know, Sony isn't to blame for the increased price of consoles. AI has done irreversible damage, and it doesn't help that PlayStation sells consoles at a loss, so they're pretty much forced to increase the price. But if you're going to increase the price, at least make the experience a good experience. We didn't go over more issues that we could have regarding PlayStation, but just know, in the past year alone, Sony has made being a fan of PlayStation a living hell. It has been the social norm to glaze PlayStation ever since the PS4 era in 2013, and to some degree, the glaze is warranted. Sony has been the best console within the past decade, but as of late, they have just been shooting themselves in the foot, and honestly, they're on the path of destruction if they keep this up. I made a video 2 months ago titled "PlayStation is Speed Running its own downfall," and that video and its title still holds weight to this day. As we move closer to 2027 and 2028, we will see if PlayStation makes the required changes to be great again. Of course, this can only happen if Xbox seizes the opportunity that they have. Xbox needs PlayStation and PlayStation needs Xbox, believe it or not. It's like yin and yang. So with all that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're about 4,000 subscribers away from 40K. As always, thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.